I'd like to state that no brainees or insects were harmed in the making of this program, and that none of the training you're about to see be attempted unless under expert supervision.
8 brainees, 1 challenge. To use complex mass of 100 billion cells we call brain for chance to win Brain-Jitsu black brain belt. This is Brain-Jitsu. Born in Lancashire, trained in Japan, with mind as sharp as samurai sword, he is Brain Master. He is the sensei.
Konnichiwa, and welcome to Brain-Jitsu. Mental training specially designed to boost brain power and focus. My trainees, or brainees, have been following a basic programme of training in the comfort of their own home. A brain-boosting routine of exercise, sleep, and enough fruit and veg to stock a greengrocer's.
I'm really excited and I feel I've done a lot of preparation and I really want to fight and win.
I'm really good at maths and I can answer questions very quickly. Good at sports and that's going to put me ahead of the rest.
Today I feel really confident because I did the training and it was really fun and I did really well.
I really want the black belt. Don't take coming second.
Now my brainees must put their training into practice by testing a part of the brain we use every day.
Level 1, yellow vault.
Take a look at this tin of Brain-Jitsu beans. Now, try to find it amongst all the other tins.
Spotted it? Congratulations! You've just used your occipital lobes. This area, the seeing part of our brain, allows us to recognise and separate images from each other.
The 7 brainees who use their occipital lobes the best will be allowed to enter my Brain-Jitsu dojo, where their training will continue.
The one who fails will be left outside. Oh, feel the burn.
Enter the dojo!
Our brainees must answer 4 questions by studying the different shapes on the board in front of them. Get the questions right and they'll be left with a 4-digit code, which they must then use to unlock a piece of brain and secure their place in the dojo. But with only 7 pieces of brain and 8 brainees, one of either Danielle, Ralph, Edward, Amber, Michael, Georgia, Joshua or Kofi will be left outside and eliminated. A bang of the gong reveals the 4 questions. How many small pink circles are there? How many black shapes are there? How many small circles are there? How many squares are there? The answer our brainees are looking for is 3573. Faster than you can say turkey teriyaki, Edward is off his stool with Ralph and Michael not far behind. But have they got the right code? Pretty soon there's 1 brainee to each piece of brain. All except for Georgia, that is, who's taking her time. Which turns out to be a smart move, because while the boys have all had to return to the noodle bar for another look, Georgia's got a code and is first to unlock a piece of brain, quickly followed by Amber and Michael. Don't forget the code our brainees are searching for is 3573, because there are 3 small pink circles, 5 black shapes, 7 small circles, and 3 squares. Which means that Kofi still has not got the right code. Come on, Kofi, stay focused and work those occipital lobes. With 2 more brainees in possession of a piece, that now just leaves Kofi, Danielle and Ralph to fight it out for the last 2 places in the dojo. At first, Ralph has to wait for an opening. But then he gets his chance, and this time there's no mistake. With just 1 piece of brain left, the pressure now really is on. But once again, Danielle's digits are out, opening the door for Kofi. And as his lock springs open, he's in and Danielle's out. While 7 have proven themselves worthy of entering the dojo and continuing their brain training, for Danielle, it's the end of the road.
I'm feeling disappointed because I didn't count all the squares. The winner will need concentration and focus.
So, with 6 levels to go, it's Amber, Georgia, Michael, Edward, Joshua, Ralph and Kofi who receive their yellow brain belts.
Oh, that was really hard. I thought I had better eyesight.
I just won. I was like, no, it must be a dream. And I was like, I won. I was like so excited. I was like, yay!
Because I almost got out, I need to up my game because I won't get another chance like that.
Brain-Jitsu.
In this next level of training, things are going to get really hard.
Level 2. Orange belt.
We do things every day without even thinking, like eating with a knife and fork. Now, try swapping them over, and see how you get on. I prefer chopsticks, me. If you manage to do that, you're using part of your brain that deals with problem solving, the frontal lobes. And that's what level 2 is all about. Taking something you normally do without thinking and doing it differently. Work it. To prepare them for using their frontal lobes in the next challenge, my brainees are going to need some training.
Room of mental nourishment.
This is the room of mental nourishment, where our young hopefuls will train their brains between every task. The more seriously our brainees take their training, the better prepared they'll be for the challenges that lie ahead. And in level 2, that challenge is all about getting their brains to think in a new way.
Write the name of the brainy you think will win the black belt. Write backwards using the hand you don't normally write with. Okay.
Can you do yourselves?
Yeah.
Probably. Okay.
There's confidence for you. Georgia can't see anyone winning but herself. So, our brainees are going to be made to think about something like writing that they'd normally do without thinking.
I'm writing Michael because he's got a good brain.
And Amber's not the only one who thinks Michael's marvellous.
I'm writing Michael because he seems quite confident in the challenges.
Thank you. Very nice.
Time for a training tip.
Picture the word in front of you before you write it. Think about each individual letter.
As our brainees have another go, it looks like Michael's got some competition.
I think Edward because he's good at that sort of stuff and he's got skill. And I've written his name 9 times.
Nice try, Joshua, but you only get 1 vote.
Thank you.
If you want to work your frontal lobes and improve your all-round focus, writing backwards with your wrong hand is a great thing to do.
Put your hand up if you voted for Michael. 3. So the overall winner was Michael. You couldn't get the letters to actually do what you wanted it to do. Loads of people voted for me, so it's a bit nerve-wracking, and if I lose, I might let them down.
How will marvellous Michael cope with the pressure of being favourite to win? Will one of our other brainees use their training to become top dog? Time to find out, as our 7 now put their frontal lobe training to the test. Guardian of the dojo and task adjudicator the Shihan will now demonstrate the level 2 challenge.
Confusing color challenge.
Brainees will take turn to stand in middle of confusing color challenge mat. Shihan then flip through 15 cards. On each card is name of color. Ignoring actual word and focusing only on color that word is written in, brainees must then jump with both feet onto matching circle. So, if see this, must jump on blue. Brainy will need to be on ball because Shihan will be turning over cards at fair old lick. Player with least number of correct color matches will be eliminated.
My brainy tip for this task is to focus the mind on just one letter and not the whole word. What's important here is not the word, but the colour that it's written in.
First on the mat is Amber. Can she remember her training and get her brain to think differently? So that's green, that's red, and that's Amber, who's in all sorts of trouble. With the she-hand turning those cars faster than a bullet train, her frontal lobes are really struggling to keep up. And although her training eventually kicks in, has it been too little too late? Next up is Georgia. And unlike Amber, her brain looks to be switched on from the very start. Blue, yellow, blue. It's a great show of focus from the young brainee who's yet to put a foot wrong. There's the gong, and Jumping Georgia has got every right to look pleased. Despite the odd mistake, most of our brainees appear to have remembered their training, furiously working those frontal lobes. Next up is Joshua. But after a good start, his brain starts to play tricks. Come on, Joshua, keep that focus. No problems though for Ralph. Or for Kofi, both of whom have risen to the challenge of getting their brains to think in a new way. The gong sounds for the last time. How have our 7 brainees done? Jumping Georgia scored a brain-tastic 15 out of 15 colour matches, with Ralph and Kofi just behind her on 14. Next came Edward and Marvellous Michael on 13 matches each, leaving just one of either Amber or Joshua to advance to the next level. But with Amber scoring just 7 to Joshua's 12, it's our level 1 winner Amber who is first to enter the dojo and first to leave.
Walk of eternal regret.
It was really confusing because she was doing it quick and I couldn't read it and I couldn't see on the floor why she was doing it. I feel really disappointed that I didn't get through, but it was fun while it lasted.
So with 5 levels to go, it's Georgia, Michael, Edward, Joshua, Ralph and Kofi who receive their orange brain belts.
I had a strategy and I found that helped me out quite a lot by focusing my eyes in the middle of the letters to look at the colour and jump from spot to spot.
I only just got in, but I'm feeling confident and very happy. And hopefully I'm going to go on and win the black belt.
Brain-Jitsu. Brainy, not so brainy.
Who's the clever clogs and whose brain needs a lot more training? Picture the scene, it's 1666, and this young chap, Isaac Newton, is catching 40 winks in his orchard, when wallop, an apple hits him right on the nut. But Isaac doesn't just yelp and rub the large bump on his curly head, he only goes and discovers the force that keeps our feet on the ground and the earth in orbit around the sun, namely gravity. Apple-tastic. Back in ancient Greece, another young lad called Icarus is banged up in prison after doing something naughty, so he decides to escape by making a pair of giant wings from feathers and wax, and then flying out the window. But, in his excitement, this bird brain goes and flies too near the sun, thus melting the wing and dropping like a stone into the drink. Oh dear, oh dear. Brainy, Isaac Newton, not so brainy, Icarus Thickerus.
Brain-Jitsu.
Competition in Brain-Jitsu Dojo hotting up. Only 6 brainy now remain to battle out under watchful eye of Shihan. Jumping Georgia, winner of last level. Ralph.
I really want the black belt.
Marvellous Michael. Edward.
Yeah, I feel really confident because I did the training.
Kofi, getting stronger with each level. And Joshua.
Hopefully I'm going to go on and win the black belt.
Challenge about to get even tougher. Only 2 brainy will make final test. Table of supreme focus. Where must move ball with power of mind for chance to win Brain-Jitsu Black Brain Belt. It's time for level 3. Win belt.
Now, we all like to chat, but did you know that using words to communicate is one of the main reasons why our brains have grown so incredibly powerful? And that having a conversation exercises both halves of the brain. Allow me to explain. Think of it like a policeman guiding traffic. While the drivers are focused on their own individual journeys, the policeman, he has to control all the cars and where they're going. It's the same with the brain. There's the left half, which deals with the details, and there's the right half, which looks at the overall picture. This next level of training strengthens my brainie's focus by working one half of their brain under pressure. Hey, pump it up!
Room of mental nourishment.
It's our brainie's second visit to the room of mental nourishment, where once again they'll train in preparation for their next challenge, which, remember, is all about using the two halves of the brain to communicate.
Get into pairs. Direct the blindfolded brainie to stack the blocks using only one hand. Sounds interesting. Okay, let's test you. How many fingers am I holding up?
3.
4.
That's right, Ralph, you keep them honest.
6.
On your marks, get set, go.
Get a thick block
Put your hand down.
and stick it up.
Put it right
Our brainie's get cracking, with marvellous Michael using the right side of his brain to give Edward good, clear instructions.
forward.
Yes, you're doing well.
Left, right, left.
And by encouraging his partner, Michael's showing more good communication skills.
Go left.
Now start filling
No, left, yeah, that one. Put that up.
Ralph, though, has decided that he and Kofi are in a race. His words tumbling out faster than commuters from a Tokyo subway.
Now, it's going to be another small square one, so...
Meanwhile, Joshua and Georgia are struggling to get their tower off the ground. Time for a training tip.
Yeah, you did well.
Use short, clear instructions. Imagine yourself hearing them.
In other words, what our guiders need to do is imagine what information their partners need, because good communication means putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
Well done. Now, get a small square. Wait, stop.
This time, it's Ralph who's being supportive.
As far as you can. Move forward.
And it's not just them who are doing well, because Joshua and Georgia seem to have really benefited from their training tip.
Okay.
To your right.
Yes, now we are winning. That's fine.
Forward a bit.
Should we stop now? Yeah, okay. Wait for
That's it, folks. You quit while you're ahead.
Leave it.
I think we've really improved because of the tip. Before, Josh was like forgetting that I was blindfolded and he was like, yeah, put it in the middle. But that time he was like right, left, up, down. So it was really good.
I'm not very good at instructing, no way.
So, can Jumping Georgia take her training into the next task? And will Rapid Ralph once again take the speedy route? It's time to find out as our 6 now put their communication training to the test.
Hands through number 2.
This is test of communication skill. So, 6 brainy must first divide into teams of 2 by throwing chopsticks. Quickly as possible, teams must punch 6 buckets containing number that go to make sum. Pairs must decide who is guider, who is puncher. Puncher is blindfold and relying on guider to help find bucket. When all 6 bucket punched, brainy stop clock by shouting Brain-Jitsu. Quicker they punch bucket, more time they have to pick up number and make sum. When brainy happy with answer, hit gong. First 2 team to work out correct answer get green belt and advance to next level. 1 brainy from losing team will be eliminated.
The key to success here is for the guider to use the right side of their brain to follow their teammates' progress and give them clear instructions. For their partner, it's vital they use the left side of their brain to focus on these instructions and nothing else.
1 step forward.
First to put their communication training to the test are Georgia and Edward.
Punch. 1 step.
With Jumping Georgia calling the shots and Edward wearing the glove, the two quickly find their groove, working one half of their brain each to great effect.
And a high punch. Yes, well done. Forward.
But then their communication begins to unravel, losing them valuable time.
Forward.
left. And punch. Brain-Jitsu.
Finally, Georgia stops the clock at 1 minute 50 seconds. Whether it's bought them any extra time to make their sum, they'll have to wait and see. Next up are Joshua and Kofi.
Right a tiny bit. Punch.
With the taller of the two, Kofi, doing the punching, the pair get off to a flying start.
Punch. Right.
And never look back.
Punch. 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 Brain-Jitsu.
Stopping the clock in 1 minute 7 seconds, it's a knockout performance from the boys. Last to punch are Ralph and Michael.
Back, yeah, back, right.
And as in training, Ralph sets off like a rocket.
Right. Back. Punch. Right.
But while his commands are quick, they don't contain much detail.
Forward. Left.
Meaning that some of Michael's punches are missing the target.
Punch. Keep on going. Okay, quite quickly. Forward. Left. Left. Punch. Brain-Jitsu.
Still, 1 minute 26 seconds is a pretty decent effort. But it's Joshua and Kofi as the fastest team, who set off first to find their numbers.
Sorry, there's one more.
Here's what our brainies are looking for. See if you can work out the sum. Remember, the first two teams to work it out will go through to the next level.
I've got 2 times 5. Wait, I got it. I think.
Despite setting off last in search of their numbers, Georgia and Edward are first to bang their gong, just ahead of Joshua and Kofi, with Ralph and Michael coming in third. But do the numbers add up? 2 times 11 plus 5 equals 27. That looks good. In fact, all 3 teams have found the right answer. But, as the last to finish, it's Rapid Ralph and Marvellous Michael who'll be battling it out to avoid elimination in the...
Stare off.
With just 1 green belt up for grabs, both brainies must use all their powers of focus to fight the urge to blink. The first to falter will be eliminated. Oh, and it's Ralph who can resist no longer. While Marvellous Michael lives to fight another day, for Rapid Ralph it's time to hand over his orange brain belt and leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I came to the stair and I had to clear my throat, and then I blinked. I'm feeling sad, but oh well, these things happen.
So, with 4 levels to go, it's Georgia, Michael, Edward, Joshua and Kofi who line up for their green belts.
Sadly, I knocked him out, but it was a good tie-break. I definitely feel confident because in the first round I came second, in the second round I came first, and in this round I've come first as well.
Brain-Jitsu.
Level 4. Move out!
This 4th level requires our brainies to master a primitive part of the brain called the amygdala, the area that responds to threat. Remember the last time you felt afraid or panicky? Perhaps you're on a ghost train at a fairground. Well, that feeling was triggered by the old amygdala. Stress can make you lose focus. Fact. Which is why my brainies must train to keep their emotions under control.
Room of mental nourishment.
It's time for our 5 remaining green belt holders to overcome their fear and stay focused.
Form a circle. Pass the disgusting drink around the circle, only passing it on when you have said a different word relating to the last word someone says. After 1 minute, the brainy holding the drink has to drink it.
Must be that. Cod liver oil
That's right, Brainies, a quite revolting glass of cod liver oil.
Quick, the minute started. Go.
Rock. Stone. Pebble.
Doing their best to ignore the signals coming from their amygdalas, our Brainies get cracking.
Seaside. Water.
And it's a good start. Our Brainies showing little sign of worry as they hand round their drink of stink.
River Nile.
Oh, but then Joshua has a mental block. Just the thought of that cod liver oil making him hesitate.
Flowing water.
Waterfall.
Niagara Falls.
Wet.
There's the gong, and it's Edward who's the unfortunate one left holding the cup of yuck. But Edward takes his medicine like a man and bravely gulps down the gloop.
Well done, Eddie. Well done. Disgusting. Well done.
Hey, time for a training tip.
Concentrate. Try to blank out the time and the fear of the drink to avoid panicking. So basically that's saying, like, just, like, forget the drink. Pretend if you think about it, then you're going to get something really nice, like £2 million or something.
That's right, Brainies. Focusing only on the task in hand is a good idea in almost any situation where you feel nervous. The calmer you are, the better you'll perform.
Gulping.
And again, it's hesitant Joshua who seems most affected by the drink.
Smoking.
Correct.
Cigar.
Oh, but again, it's poor old Edward who has to actually down it.
Think how nice the chocolate melting in your mouth. That was absolutely disgusting, especially because I did it twice.
I think the tip helped because instead of people just being scared of actually tasting it, it was about people overcoming their fears.
I think I hesitated the most because of the fear about tasting the drink. You just don't want to do it, so it stops you from thinking.
Will Joshua be able to keep his anxiety under control? Will Kofi remember his training? And will brave Edward be able to block out the memory of that cod liver oil? It's time to find out as our 5 are challenged to overcome their fears once again.
Creepy crawly word grab.
This level, real test of mind over matter for Brainies, and will push them to really overcome their fear. Underneath the creepy crawlies lie an assortment of letters worth different points. Brainies have just 1 minute to plunge hands into tank and pick out up to 7 letters each. They then have a further minute to make higher scoring word they can.
To do well, my Brainies must block out the signals coming from their amygdala and ignore the creepy crawlies. The quicker they combat their fear, the more time they'll have to pick out the high-scoring letters.
So, have our Brainies remembered their training?
Oh, cool. No way.
Judging by some of their reactions, you have to wonder. Underneath the pile of crickets are an extra 5 golden letters. If our Brainies manage to use one in their word, they'll double their score. While Kofi appears to be coolly going about his business, ignoring the signals coming from his amygdala, Jumping Georgia is showing signs of nerves, using a tile to pick out her letters. Meanwhile, brave Edward has found one of the golden letters. If he can now just make a word, he'll double his score. The minute is up. Our Brainies now have a further minute to make the highest scoring word they can from their letters.
That is so not fair.
Tin might be a word, but only if you have an N, Edward. An upside down U just won't cut the wasabi. See if you can make a word from the anagram on the screen now. There's the second gong. How have our Brainies done?
A.
With nothing but vowels to choose from, Georgia looks to have paid the price for her picky approach, scoring just 1 point.
No word.
Holy karaoke! Somehow Michael has managed not to score anything at all. A sign of a late panic, perhaps.
Tip.
With that golden T, that's 8 points for brave Edward.
Hi.
A quick check of the dictionary, and that's 4 points for Joshua.
Nut.
And 4 points for Cool Kofi. All of which means that it's Marvellous Michael who must leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I found the brain training very useful and I got over my fear, but I didn't quite get the big word because the time ran out. It was very annoying actually, but it's okay, it's not that bad.
So, with 3 levels to go, those who use their craniums to conquer the crickets are duly rewarded with their blue belts.
The training really helped because if it weren't for the tip, I wouldn't have done anything really.
It wasn't very nice, and I don't think I want to do it again, really.
Now Michael's out the competition, I think I have a better chance of winning now.
Brain-Jitsu. Brainy, not so brainy.
Who's the clever cloaks and whose brain needs a lot more training? Queen Elizabeth I, what a lady. She ruled for a whopping 45 years, a glittering reign known as the Golden Age. Not only did the Queen use her tactical brain to send the Spanish Armada packing, but she also outwitted her rivals for the throne. High five, Lizzie. Now meet Ying Zheng, first Emperor of China, a man obsessed with living forever. He sent out explorers to find a magic potion that would help him live for hundreds of years. But after taking the potion, he soon became ill and died. Always read the label. Brainy Queen Elizabeth I. Not so brainy Ying Zheng.
Brain-Jitsu.
Tension in Brain-Jitsu Dojo mounting as just 4 young hopeful remain to compete under watchful eye of Shiha. Jumping Georgia, winner of 2 levels so far.
I really want to fight and win.
Joshua, steady throughout. Brave Edward, who conquer cricket.
I think I have a better chance of winning now.
And Cool Kofi coming up on the rails. Only 2 brainy will make final showdown. Table of supreme focus. Where must move ball with power of mind. Brain-Jitsu Black Prem belt is within grasp. It's time for level 5. Red belt.
If you're learning how to Morris dance, then you might be interested to know that your new hobby is doing wonders for your old grey matter. Exercising both the thinking part of the brain, the cerebrum, and the doing part, the cerebellum. You see, doing new things increases the flow of blood into your head, which keeps your brain cells topped up with the oxygen they need to perform at their best. So, in level 5, my brainees are going to be challenged to learn new skills. Now, you can speed up how quickly the brain takes in new stuff. And this is what our brainees are going to train for now.
Room of mental nourishment.
It's our brainees' 4th visit to the Room of Mental Nourishment, where they'll be training their brains in how to learn new skills.
Flip and catch as many drinks coasters as you can.
You allowed to use 2 hands, do you reckon?
Not really, Georgia, but it'll do to start.
Try then. Try one.
Yes. Just do it then. Oh, goodness.
2.
It's hard. Oh, so good. Hey, watch this, everybody. Look, watch.
I'm on my phone.
But that's 1, eh? Right. See, you can't even do it.
And Kofi is also struggling to get both the thinking part and the doing part of his brain to work in harmony.
Eat it up. Stop it!
Oh, time for a training tip.
Have confidence. Compliment each other.
I'm sure you'll be very good at it.
Sure.
Josh, I think you're doing really well.
I think you're...
Being confident really can help if you're learning something new. If you stay positive, you're much more likely to succeed.
Edward, I think you're doing really well in this.
Well done, Josh. I think you've really been concentrating on all of the tasks and you've done really well.
And before you know it, General Flap has turned into Major Flip.
1. Oh, yes. Come on.
The only exception appears to be Cool Coffee, but he's not letting it get him down.
I think the tip would really help you because if it kind of goes through all of the tasks that we've done, we need to be confident in ourselves in all the tasks, so it's a really good tip.
I think if I have like confidence in my mind, it helps me because I just feel confident instead of like negative.
So, can Cool Coffee remain confident despite his failure to flip? And we'll jump in Georgia, remember her training when the heat is on. Only time will tell as our four now put their latest brain training to the test.
Speedy, tricky, steery.
To win red belt, Brainy must use confidence training to help learn new skill. Racing against clock, they must steer car around obstacle course. But this Brain-Jitsu, so controls in reverse. To go right must steer left, and to go forward must steer backward. With time penalty lurking along course, Brainies will need to remember training, stay positive, and get hang of tricky controls as quickly as possible.
The tip for my Brainies in this next task is to remain calm and think positive thoughts. Giving in to frustration will only lessen their focus and slow them up.
First to take on this new task is Georgia, whose car quickly vanishes out of sight. Back on track, Georgia begins to inch her way round the course. Safely past the blocks. Georgia then goes back and knocks them over, earning her a 10-second penalty.
Boy, this is hard.
Indeed it is, Georgia. The secret, though, is to remember your training and stay confident. Over the seesaw. Under the arch. Now for the goal. If our Brainies knock the ball into the net, they'll get 10 seconds knocked off their time. But having taken at least double that to line up her car, Jumping Georgia finally decides that enough is enough. Next to get behind the wheel is Brave Edward. It's a steady start, a sign that both the thinking part and the doing part of Edward's brain are working well together. No problems getting past the blocks. Slickly through the slalom. Now for the goal. Get in! Top work, Edward. You might well look pleased. Now it's Joshua's turn. While good with the speedy bit, Joshua's not having quite so much success with the steery part. But then his training and his confidence slowly start to kick in. But that's 5 seconds to add for the blocks. Under the arch, and now just the goal. Oh, but he hits the post. Never mind though, it's still a decent effort. Last up is Cool Coffee. While not brilliant during training, he remained confident throughout. Can he do the same now, faced with this new skill? Despite penalties for knocking over the blocks, the rest of the course poses little problem. Nicely under the arch, and with the goal at his mercy, he shoots. And scores! So, which of our Brainies have steered their way to the next level? With 2 penalties to add to her time of 7 minutes 14, Georgia finished in a not-so-speedy 7 minutes 24 seconds. With 10 seconds to knock off his time for this goal, brave Edward finished in 1 minute 48 seconds. With 1 5-second penalty to his name, Joshua got round in 2 minutes 51 seconds. While Cool Kofi, with that goal bonus, careered round in a quick-fire 1 minute 35. Which means it's the end of the speedy, tricky, steery road for Jumping Georgia, who must now leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
What I found difficult was the fact that it was in reverse, and I did think at the end I should have turned the remote control upside down. I'm feeling sort of disappointed, but also I'm quite proud of myself for getting this far.
With 2 levels to go, that leaves just brave Edward, Joshua and Cool Kofi to stand proud in red.
I'm really ready to fight for this black belt because I've got this far doesn't mean I can't get further.
It's getting tougher, and I'm looking forward to the next challenge.
Brain-Jitsu.
Level 6, Roll bolt!
It's this level which will decide which 2 of my remaining brainees will go on to battle it out for the black belt. Imagine you're about to kick a conversion in an important rugby match. As well as remembering your technique, there might be a strong wind blowing. Plus, there's a big crowd watching you. It's remembering stuff like this under pressure that level 6 is all about. It centres around 3 areas of the brain. The seeing part, the occipital lobes, the memory part, the temporal lobes, and the movement part, the cerebellum. To the max.
Room of mental nourishment.
Our 3 surviving brainees are back in the room of mental nourishment, this time for a dose of memory training.
Memorise the sequence of colours. That's going to be hard.
There's 10 of them. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Best get cracking then.
Orange, green, purple, yellow, pink, red, blue, pink, silver, green. Cover your eyes and turn around.
I think it was orange, green, purple, green, yellow, pink. I can't remember the rest.
Orange, green, pink, yellow, something blue.
So, how about you have a try?
Orange, green, purple, yellow, pink, red. I can't remember.
Nice try, Kofi. Let's see if a training tip can help you make it 10 out of 10.
Create a song linking the colours together.
Okay, why don't we make it like an easier order? So green, green, pink, pink, and then go like darker to lighter.
Yeah.
A smart idea, Edward, but one that kind of defeats the object of training. Because the harder it is, the more you'll get out of it.
What about green, green, pink, pink, yellow, silver, orange, red, blue and purple?
How about green, green, pink, pink, yellow, silver, orange, red, blue and purple?
But that's not really a song, is it? So it's just saying colours.
But it'll help you remember it.
But it wouldn't help me.
Memory training like this isn't just great for the brain, it's also very useful. Try turning the birthdays in your family into a song and see if it helps you remember them. Let's see if our brainie's training has made a difference.
Okay, green, green, pink, pink, yellow and silver.
Orange, red, blue and purple.
Green, green, pink, pink, yellow, silver, orange, red, blue and purple.
Yes.
That's good.
We all got it right.
Yep. I guess that tip helped then.
Yep.
Well, and that's a bit negative, but I'm not good at remembering. It's only if it's in a simple order, like that.
I'm a bit nervous about the next task because I'm not very good at remembering things. It's not my strongest point.
Will Joshua's nerves get the better of him? Will Edward regret making his training session easier? Only time will tell as our final three put their memory training to the test for one of 2 brown brain belts and a place on the table of supreme focus.
Super Memory Dizzy Dash.
Brainy is spin around on dizzy wheel, total of 10 times, while using all power of focus to memorize 5 images in front of them. Then must race against clock to cross balancing beam and collect 5 images they have not seen from the 10 hanging above them. Then must arrange in alphabetical order. When Brainy happy with selection, hit the gong to stop clock.
My tip for the Brainies is to keep focused on the main objective and use their training to link the 5 images together.
So, our final 3 brave the dizzy wheel to compete for their brown brain belt and the chance of a place on the table of supreme focus. It's time to spin. Will their memory training help them to remember the images and ignore the effects of being spun round like slugs in a cement mixer? First to set off is brave Edward. Here are the images he saw on the wheel, which means that it's this that he's now looking for. Remember, our Brainies must fight the dizziness and pick out the 5 images they didn't see on the wheel, arranging them in alphabetical order. For every one they get wrong, it's a 5-second penalty. The Brainie with the slowest time will be eliminated from the dojo. Here are those images again. And that looks like 5 out of 5. What's more, they're in the right order. Next to put his training to the test is Joshua. Oh dear, Josh might have his 5 images, but he appears to have forgotten that he's up against the clock. Chop chop, Josh. No, don't scratch your nose. Dong the gong. 5 out of 5. Last up is Cool Kofi. Whoop, steady. Remember, here's what he's looking for. Holy karaoke! Kofi's only gone and picked out an axe. Well, that's 5 seconds to add on. The rest look okay, but will that lapse in focus have cost Kofi dear? Let's find out. With no penalties, brave Edward finished in a quick-fire 1 minute 3 seconds. Joshua also didn't pick up any penalties. However, his time wasn't quite so quick, finishing in 1 minute 53. While Cool Kofi, even with that 1 penalty, banged his gong in 1 minute 43. Which means that it's Joshua who must hand over his brain belt and leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
The brain training we did before helped me because the tip said, like, use a song to help you remember, and that helped me. I'm feeling a bit upset, but I'm proud because I came 3rd.
So, with just 1 level to go, that leaves brave Edward and Cool Kofi to don their brown brain belts and prepare for the final showdown.
I won by quite a long margin, really. I won by 30 seconds against Kofi and 50 seconds from Josh, but I'm just glad I got through, really.
I definitely think I've got everything that it takes to win the black belt.
Brain-Jitsu.
8 young hopeful arrive at Brain Training Dojo to fight for Brain-Jitsu Black Brain Belt. As training got tougher, so Brainies fell by wayside. Some lack focus, others speed. Now just 2 remain. Brave Edward, winner of 2 levels so far, And Cool Coffee getting mentally stronger all time. But who will use brain training to the max to win final challenge? Level 7, Black Belt!
So, this is it. Between my two remaining Brainies and the Black Belt stands Brain-Jitsu's ultimate challenge. A mental duel that is head-to-head in every sense. The battlefield? A table. But not just any table. For this, my friends, is the table of supreme focus, where our two Brainies will attempt to move a ball across the table using only the power of their mind. By getting this far, they've already demonstrated mental control under many different types of pressure. But now, they must learn to focus their minds by entering a state of total calm. To prepare them, my two finalists will need to get into the zone.
Room of mental nourishment.
In this, their sixth and final visit to the room of mental nourishment, I will ask two Brainies who are about to train in how to stay focused no matter what's happening around them.
Mentally prepare yourself for the final task. Don't let the sounds put you off.
Both Edward and Kofi immediately get into the zone. Edward shutting his eyes in an effort to really keep his focus. Good work, Brainies. I'm not sure these two need a training tip, but here's one anyway.
Focus on one object in the room. Try that.
While Cool Kofi stares off into the distance, brave Edward once again has got his eyes shut. It might not be what's on the tip, but it seems to be working.
I think I'm going to win because I know I can be very focused at times, and this is one of those times.
But I think I'm going to win because I can concentrate way better than you.
I feel a bit in the zone now.
Yeah.
It's been a good final training session for both Brainies, but will they be just as calm when their pressure is on to win that black belt?
Table of supreme focus.
Rules are simple. Each Brainy must push ball to the opponent's end of table using only power of mind. Sensors in Brainy's headbands measure brainwaves. This is converted into electrical signal, which moves ball. More focused mind, stronger signal, and faster ball will travel. See how Brainies are doing on this readout. 2 lines represent each player's brainwaves. Lower the line, more concentrated their mind.
To make sure this is the test of all tests, our Brainies must win the best of 3 rounds. So, this is the big one. Our 2 finalists must use all their brain training to enter their zone of absolute focus. This is the reason they came to the dojo. This is the moment they've been training for. Edward's off to a good start. His green brainwave is straight and low and shows that his mind is fully focused. But Kofi's fighting back, his face a picture of concentration. Once again though, Edward gains the upper hand. And despite Kofi's best efforts, makes it 1-0. Cool Kofi will have to really dig deep to call on all his training if he's to turn this around. Again, it's Edward who's quickest out of the blocks. But just as before, Kofi refines his focus. You can see from the 2 brain waves on the monitor just how closely matched this pair are. Eventually, it's brave Edward who gets the ball moving again, this time pushing it all the way to the end. Oh, it's all over. And it's brave Edward who's come out on top, using all his training to become a true master of the mind and worthy winner of the black belt of Brain-Jitsu.
I just feel
amazing, really. It's just a good feeling.
But glory for one brings disappointment for another, and although he put up a brave fight, Cool Kofi must now leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
Where I think it went wrong for me was when I started winning, because as I started winning, I was celebrating in my mind, which helped Edward get the lead. I'm quite annoyed not to get the black belt. I really surprised myself though, because I almost got out on the first round, and to get to the final is just amazing.
What a triumph for brave Edward. Calling on all his training, not once did he let his concentration slip. And while his opponent wavered, Edward remained focused enough to grab the Brain-Jitsu black belt right from under his rival's nose.
Yes! Come on! I won Brain-Jitsu black belt! I didn't actually know I could control my mind like that much. The lesson that I have learned from this is that I should have more confidence in myself. It was like it was made for me, just for me. It fits perfectly.
Our journey has come to an end. Another brainy has proven themselves worthy to wear the Brain-Jitsu black belt. But while Brain-Jitsu might represent the most extreme form of brain training, its philosophy can be shared by all. Each and every one of you has it in your power to grow your mind. All it takes is dedication and practice. This has been
Brain-Jitsu.
Join me, Richard Hammond, in my Last Lap, Saturdays at 8:30, CBBC on BBC Two.
Hi, I'm Rani and welcome to Best of Friends, the show that really does like